Hello and welcome back to a new semester of Beacon Web News. I'm Sam Kniskern. This week, we'll talk to MCLA students who attended women's marches across the country, and we'll take a look inside the new Design Lab in downtown North Adams. Just a few weeks ago was the inauguration of the highly controversial Donald Trump. The day after his inauguration, America saw one of its biggest marches in its short history, the annual Women's March. People of all different backgrounds came together to march for equal rights and justice in a political climate that has gotten all too intense as of late. Some MCLA students and faculty had the chance to attend the marches, and they shared their experiences with Beacon Web News. January 21st, just one day after the inauguration of Donald Trump, one of the largest protests in American history took place throughout the country. Students and faculty at MCLA became part of history by attending women's marches in Washington, D.C., Boston, Pittsfield, and other cities. Kathleen Harrison, a junior at MCLA, spoke about her experience at the movement.
It was really nice to hear all the different voices. They had Marty Walsh spoke, Elizabeth Warren spoke. There were a few Native American groups, activist groups, who spoke.
Sakaya Johnson talked about how the crowd size exceeded everyone's expectations.
That morning they did say they were expecting 25,000, and then the number by Friday night it was 90,000, and then once even a few days later on the news and saw it on Twitter and things like that, it was around 200,000. I was not expecting that at all.
Johnson also shared her thoughts on the inclusiveness of the march.
Overall, I would say it was a great experience. It felt very unified. However, I felt it could have been a little bit more inclusive. There were, I would say, a lot of older middle-class white women there, and because of that I felt, so there were also there were men there as well, but I felt like we were missing a lot of other people in the march. I think when it comes to especially trans women or even women of color, there weren't a lot of people of color there.
Katie Hickey, a senior at MCLA, shared her opinion on the inclusiveness of the march she attended in Boston.
I think it was kind of inclusive. I did see people of color there, but it was a lot of white women, and I think it's interesting how all these white people are showing up for this, but they haven't been showing up for past marches and stuff.
Timothy Williams also went to the Boston March and spoke about how the event was a uniting moment for people of all different backgrounds.
We're able to unify as one, saying you might be a Republican woman, you might be a log cabin Republican, but you can get behind a message of we're all one human.
Professor Graziana Ramsden talked about the importance of activism in the social media age.
This is the kind of thing that activists do. They show up. And this seems to be a society where we're all desk jockeys, right? We all stand behind our laptop and we opine on social media and everything, and I didn't want that to be something that I watched from a monitor. I wanted to be involved in it. And
Ramsden also shared a moment of togetherness where the crowd sang Beyoncé's Halo in unison.
And we all just started singing together. And although that was not necessarily a meaningful moment for the cause, for marching for our freedom and for equality, it was an incredible moment of togetherness. The two key words really were resistance and equality.
Hopefully the energy continues and people all over the country continue to use their voice for what is right and fight for inclusiveness and equality. A new design space for MCLA students opened recently, and BWN's Dan Wohler was able to get an inside scoop on just what that entails.
Hi Sam, I'm downtown at 49 Main Street at the MCLA Design Lab, which is part of the MCLA Leads Initiative. Program coordinator for the Feigenbaum MCLA Leads Initiative, Zach Fury, described the purpose for the initiative.
Feigenbaum MCLA Leads Initiative is the result of a generous contribution given to the college a few years ago by the Feigenbaum Foundation based in Pittsfield. They gave MCLA a sum of money for the development of new curricular and co-curricular programming centered on innovation, entrepreneurship, and leadership and community engagement.
Physics professor and associate dean of academic affairs, Adrian Wooters, explained why the MCLA Design Lab is the perfect environment for design thinking.
This is beautiful, and we've tried to. In my own classes and in some other venues, we've tried to be able to do some. We have done some design thinking. exercises and stuff, and it's okay. It's okay, but there's not enough wall, there's not enough table. You know, where do you keep the stickies? Where do you hang the paper when you're done? And this is the space where you can do that.
Wooters described how the design thinking model could extend from the classroom to campus-wide decision-making.
This is a model not just for classes, but I think this is a model for how MCLA could function. You know, the whole notion of design thinking. Personally, I'll make it all about me here. I'm personally interested in seeing design thinking make its way into how we make decisions on campus, how we do our strategic plan, how we make decisions on curriculum.
Senior Rebecca Patterson explained what she's looking forward to in the new classroom space.
I'm expecting that we get to all draw on our own board, and that will be fun. And yeah, it's just like got that open, like kind of blank canvas thing where you can just do a lot. I think it'll be fun.
Senior Becky Waterhouse spoke on the value of a classroom space in the heart of downtown Main Street.
So we're working a lot on community arts and education, so that's a little separate when we're on campus, but being on Main Street makes it physically closer to the people that we may be trying to serve with the programs we're making.
Arts management professor Lisa Donovan focuses on how to integrate classroom studies with community events, and the Design Lab helps her to accomplish this.
It is awesome being downtown. I think one of the goals that I have as a professor here is to blur the boundaries between the classroom and what's happening in the community. And so what better thing than to be downtown in a gallery space. I see students, you know, going and getting snacks and their lunch beforehand. So I think we're becoming embedded more in the community that way.
Donovan expressed how being in a former gallery space helps to inspire creativity and a design-centric mindset.
It just generates itself to more creative thinking. It feels like you're in a studio, and so the whole process of design thinking where you're, you know, defining a problem and generating a sense of empathy with different stakeholders and iterating ideas and then testing them, that happens really well in a space where you can have your thinking visually on the wall, you can move things around, you can keep things hung up from class to class.
The MCLA Design Lab offers faculty a new space to teach and also allows students to take classes downtown. Back to you, Sam.
Thanks, Dan. There will be an open house at the Design Lab for students on Tuesday, February 7th at 5 p.m. There will be pizza, refreshments, and live music. Tomorrow, February 2nd, writer and activist Sean King will be speaking at Williams College at 7 p.m. King is an increasingly prominent voice in the Black Lives Matter movement, and MCLA students are encouraged to attend. MCLA's President Burge, who is just 79 days away from his inauguration, issued a response to Donald Trump's recent discriminatory executive order, stating, quote, "I do not support the executive order on immigration which undermines the values of our community. MCLA will continue to provide support for and advocate on behalf of our faculty, staff, and students. We are committed to providing a safe and welcoming learning and living environment for everyone." With today marking the beginning of Black History Month, the Black Student Union is hosting a variety of events, including Sex in the Dark, an educational trivia event that will take place in room 324A of the Campus Center on Tuesday, February 7th at 7:30 p.m. Friday, the 3rd, the Student Activities Council is hosting a comedy stop event, Eric's Extreme Magic Show. The show begins at 8 p.m. in Venable Theater. And each Thursday at 7 p.m. in the Center for Science and Innovation in room 121, the Green Living Seminar Series takes place, tackling different environmental issues. This semester's theme is the science and management of invasive species. The lecture is free and open to the public. On Sunday, the 3rd, join MCLA in their 22nd annual Student Leadership Conference. This year's theme, 100 Yards of Leadership, hopes to inspire students to think about how leaders must endure hard work and dedication in order to accomplish their goals. The event starts at 9 a.m. in the Campus Center gym. That's all for this week. Make sure to follow MCLA on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Good luck with the spring semester. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.